Red Nation Live. I'm your host. Welcome to Red Nation Live. I'm your host, Low. How's everybody doing, man? Super Bowl Sunday. Man, let me load this real quick. Everybody's doing good, man. Let me get everybody in here in a second. Chubby, what's up, bro? Salute to you, brother. Let me just adjust this real quick. Hopefully everybody's doing good, man. Yeah, man, just wanted to jump on here, talk a little bit about what's been going on as of late. If you guys, I know there's a lot of news going on as far as the Raiders are concerned, man, but today's Super Bowl Sunday, man. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Like, I'm gonna be dressed up in my Raiders shit. I don't care. I'm not wearing no Seahawks. I'm not wearing no nothing. I just want to watch fucking. You just want to get some good food with some family and some friends, and be cool and shit like that. But man, it's been a minute. Last weekend, kind of had a little situation, but everything's all good. Just a little, your boy was down for a second, but I'm back. Yeah, man. Just we're gonna get into some of the rumors that you've been seeing around. There's been a lot of fucking rumors, bros, especially surrounding Maxx Crosby, and there's been the rumors around Maxx Crosby, and especially in media, bro. Man, you seen the whole Jake Glazer thing. We're gonna get into that. Talk a little bit about Kubiak and who he's possibly going to be bringing in moving forward, man. It's there's a lot of interesting stuff, man. But we're just gonna get into it, man. Hopefully everybody's having a good one. And yeah, man, we'll get right into it. Take a sip of my coffee. It's too early for me right now. I was gonna do one about like 12, but I was like, nah, everyone's probably gonna be getting everyone's probably gonna get ready for the Super Bowl and stuff, barbecuing and stuff. So I was like, man, we'll just knock it out a little early real quick, man. We'll take care of this. Let's see real quick. That's fine. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Shit, man. First of all, man, hopefully everyone's had a good week, Sunday. I think personally, bro, we should have Super Bowl Monday off. It's kind of like a national thing, like, especially a lot of people are gonna call in tomorrow. I know a lot of people at work aren't gonna, my job ain't gonna be there tomorrow, but but to each his own and stuff like that, man. All I gotta tell you guys, man, is if you guys are gonna be out and about, especially with enjoying a few adult beverages and stuff. Make sure you guys, make it home safe, and or if you're at home, cool. But I know a lot of different people having parties here and there and stuff like that. So make sure you guys just, take care of yourself. Make sure you guys get home safe, right? I'll get to the chat real quick, man. If you guys, there's anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk about it. There's only a little bit of stuff I really want to say moving forward about the whole Clint Kubiak and the drama. We're gonna talk about it. If you even look on the title, pretty much it says no trade, no drama, Crosby, and then Kubiak and the offensive plan going into the draft, in 2026, man. But we'll get to the chat and we'll go from there, man. All right, Tubby, what's good, bro? Salute, doc. I'm not bueno. What's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Hopefully you're having a good one. Come on, man. Of all times, thing starts acting stupid. Oh, you already got the picture of Mendoza diving for it. What's up, bueno? John Leon, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Hopefully you have a good one. I hope that McDonald's breakfast this morning. Nah, man, I ain't fucking with McDonald's no more. Can't do it, man. We the people. What's up, bro? Salute. Man, hopefully you guys are having a good one, bro. People, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Salute to you, brother. You're going for the Seahawks, Tub? Yeah, I mean, I am too, just for the simple fact is that they're a West Coast team. I don't want. See, this is the messed up part. I'm going to the Seattle game next year. If you guys haven't got the yet, but we're playing Seattle next year, whether the Super Bowl winners or not. But I'm going to be out there at that Seattle game. Me and my boy, he's a Seattle fan. So if you see me with a Seattle fan, make sure that let my boy be. So what up? Hey, so I was talking to my nephew, bro. We're talking to Ben Choate, and man, I don't know. It looks like I'm beginning that Arc Raiders pretty soon. Might be on there with you guys. Edgar, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Shit. Who else in the building? Is there prize picks? Yeah. Anybody doing any betting? I haven't did anything like that. Nobody wants to pat to get a big number 70, dude. Nobody does. I don't want McDaniels to win. You know what I mean? Didn't he get like coach of the year or offensive coordinator for the year, some shit like that? And then they like, man, it kind of pisses me off a little bit if you really think about it, bro. Like, there's like 7 players over there. Chase Young's having a good year. That was on the Raiders. What was it, a couple years back or a year back? So was Spillane, one of our biggest fucking pieces. Yeah, there's that. But take Drake May pass yard discount with Kenneth Walker Green gobbling rushing yards. Okay. Shit. All right. It's pretty fun after you get account build up. So yeah, I know it's gonna be. I'll get with you, bro. Been on Prize Picks for a while, man. You be winning any money on that, people? Alex, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Entering very interesting, though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what's up with Prize Picks. Yeah, man. Hopefully, one of these days we get sponsored by them. All right, man. It's been a minute, bro, that I've been doing this. So it's like from this point forward, it pretty much is gonna be by myself, man. So it's all right though. People got things to do and stuff like that. But once we start getting into the off season, I'll be on a little bit more. You notice I'm trying to change up the background a little bit, do a little bit of different things and stuff, and get some new lighting and a couple other things, man. But shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to my boy, Gabe and also Gravy, man. You know what I mean? Prayers out to both of you guys, man. Hopefully everything's good, brother. One more than 200 bets. Oh shit. Okay. I've picked more than 1K and picks correctly. Fuck. Sir Dre, what's up, bro? Salute to you. Prime, what's up, my brother? Shit. Primo, what's good, brother? Hopefully you're having a good one, man. Yeah, 3 screens are good. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. Shit right here. Mostly NBA though. Oh, okay, I got you. So tell a little how much fun we've been. Oh, bro, I already know you guys be cutting up in there and shit. Man. So all right, let's get into a little bit of the Raiders craziness. It seems like every year when we turn around and start getting ready to, anytime the Raiders are starting to do something good, it always seems like there's always this like dark cloud over us, or like the media turns around, starts trying to put spin on things and stuff. And for me, one of the biggest pieces, and we've had arguments on the show. I talked to Gravy a little bit earlier this week, but one of the things, like I remember a couple years back, I was sitting there like, man, forget it. Let's just trade everybody. Let's get rid of Maxx Crosby. Let's get rid of everybody. Let's just move on. And us moving on from Maxx Crosby, I said that a couple years ago, man, because a lot of the things is like, if you look at a Myles Garrett on a bad team has tons of sacks. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will push the issue that like, Maxx Crosby's been pretty much having surgeries almost every year. I think he even stated that he had like 7 surgeries in the last 8 years or whatever, whatnot. So, but it's part of the game, it's part of football. He's still in it, but we can never have nothing nice. You know what I mean? It's always Maxx Crosby, one of the key pieces to our defense. Basically the heart and soul of our defense is always coming up in discussion that, oh, he'll look at this, look at this, look at this. Even some of the Raider fan bases will send there saying, man, it'll be better if he fucking, you know what I mean? I feel sorry for Max. You know what I mean? He should go somewhere else to win a championship. Now, if you know anything about NFL and how it is, no matter what happens throughout the season, whether you have losses, wins, however you get to the playoffs and however you move forward, guess what happens? Only one team wins. You know what I mean? Barring injury and stuff like that. Just per se, say next year or years before, we turn around and we get into the playoffs and then Max gets hurt. You know what I mean? It's just a part of the game, So it being a part of the game that people can get hurt and stuff like that, there's no guarantee that you're going to make it all the way through to the end of the season. It's very, very rare. You know what I mean? Just depending on exactly, how things pan out. But for the Raiders, it always seems that the media has to like throw some shade on something. So first things first, right when we quit, right when the season's over and we're getting all this good press and everything like that, guess what happens? Maxx Crosby is on the trading block. Jay Glazer turns around and goes and says what he says, and everyone's losing their shit. Like everybody's like, "Oh man, are we going to lose him?" Da 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 da. Now going back to the whole Maxx Crosby and Myles Garrett thing, even though Myles Garrett, you know what I mean, had the most sacks. One of the biggest things about Maxx Crosby is he doesn't get a lot of sacks. And then a lot of people turn around and try to say that, hey, well, he's always getting doubled, he's getting chipped, he's doing this. You think Myles Garrett isn't? You know what I mean? But if you really look at his tackles for losses and stuff like that, it's not necessarily a sack, but it also like it shows that he can actually like get to the quarterback, start getting some pressures. The tackles for losses help, but then if you turn around and you can't blame him for the secondary giving up, like say we'll have a 3rd and 15 or 12 and 18, and then the secondary turns around and gives up 20 yards, 17 yards and stuff like that on a pass play. So it's not really Max's fault on that part, plus even if we had somebody like, we thought like Malcolm Butler. Now shout out Malcolm Butler, bro. Like he had a good year. But the thing is though, it's like we get all these other pieces that don't really help him do other things. If you look at that Cleveland defensive line, they have some dogs on there. I don't know a lot of them, but I know I think like 2 or more have more than 10 sacks because of the simple fact of what Myles Garrett's like attracts, you know what I mean, to that side of the ball. So there are schemes that you can do certain things to actually like make players better, but you also got to remember it's 11-man team. It's 11 against 11, and if you have other weak parts on a couple other sides, then guess what happens? They're going to focus all their power on Maxx. You know what I mean? We thought Kuntz was going to come in and do some things. He actually did a few things, but nothing too crazy to where you're going to be like, damn, like, he helped Maxx out tremendously. He really, really didn't. So I don't really want to blame the thing on Maxx. You know what I mean? Let me get to some of the chats real quick. I see a couple people in here. Hold on real quick. Sure. Raider Chris Food, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Fuck Maxx if you don't want to be a Raider. See, that's the thing. So, like, we've talked a lot, bro. Raider Jeff, what's up, bro? Maxx wants to be here, bro. He has a tat. He doesn't want to go anywhere, and that's what I'm getting to the Jay Glazer thing. This was done on purpose. Maxx or whoever at the time have good energy. Finally, the league always does this with the Raiders, bro. That's what I was going to try to say. He does need some playoff games, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere, man. Fuck that. Maxx got paid hundreds of $1 millions. He gets what he deserves. Fucking so mad. So going back to what Jay Glazer said, I'm not going to pull up exactly what he said. I'm going to say basically verbatim. He said basically somewhat what he had said was, hey, Maxx is tired of it. So with the so forth. But then you see, I shout out Simone Raider, man. I guess him and Morley, and they were all out there. If you guys don't know Simone Raider, I don't know where you guys have been. But, he gives a lot of good Raider content too. So, but he was out there and he talked to him, and he talked to that little fucking guy. I can't think of his name. I knew his name right now. He talked to him and he basically said, he goes, no, that's what I was saying. Then after that, Maxx went on this press run and basically stating like this, like, hey, bro, he's like, I don't say when I do say something, people misconstrue it and say it a certain way, right? And it's the age of media, you know what I mean? YouTube clippers, they can turn around and take one word. He says, then if he says a pause in something that he's saying, they're like, oh, see, he has doubts. But he literally says, I can't, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I mean? So I'm not, what he's basically said on like 5 different interviews, he's like, man, this is home. I'm not going nowhere. Now, there was the whole thing about him, being sat for the last couple games of the season. You know what I mean? And he was pissed off. And, when you have competitors and grown men that this is what they do, and they know that they only got a certain amount of time, they want to spend every second on the field. They want to be effective. They want to be, a winner. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know when certain people read this shit or look at it, I think it's like on some loser mentality. They're like, oh well, fuck it, it's not working here. Let me go over here. You know what I mean? It's like you want it now. And I know he's been with the Raiders for so long and stuff like that, but you got to remember, nobody was looking at him. When he first came in, nobody was looking at a fucking defensive end, tall, skinny defensive end from Eastern Michigan. You know what I mean? When Mayock and Gruden took a shot at him, you know what I mean? They took the shot, and then look at what he has become. And I don't want him to leave personally, but yet at the same time, if you put some good people around him and stuff like that, he's gonna grow. But he is like being like, I'm gonna say crafted into like being a prototypical Raider. You know, you think Raiders, you think Maxx Crosby. Obviously, you think like, old school players, just depending on how old you are, you know what I mean? Go back to Ottos, Bo Jacksons and stuff like that. But the Raiders fan base always have this thing about players, you know what I mean? And if it was like, the Raiders always tend to do stuff like this. Say like Nnamdi Asomugha, right? Nnamdi was one of the fucking best corners in the league, and then he leaves, you know what I mean? And then he really doesn't do nothing because he wants to be a Raider. So you see stuff like that, man. So for us to be like, oh, well, what can we get? Let's get it now. Like, relax. Like, it's not going to work. You need players like that, especially veterans like that. You could talk about, say, like guys like J.J. Watt. Now, he is not on his level, but what I'm saying is that veteran presence in the, organization of the Texans, he's going to go down in history for that. You know what I mean? He's not comparable to J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt, yeah. The older one that was playing for the Texans. But yet, all those defensive players that came behind him, the way he had that defensive playing, because their defense was really, really good. They just really had no offense. So you do not want to take anything away from that. You know what I mean? And who gives a fuck about the money, bro? Like, it's not our money. You know what I mean? It's not our money. So if they give him fucking $1 billion, who gives a shit? Like, it has really nothing to do with us. If we can get other players to build around, like, yes, I know there's the cap. But it's like, I'm not digging into no other man's pockets, bro. Regardless of what he gets or anything like that, it really doesn't matter to me because they get paid no matter what. Some players get paid, some people don't. But you got to look at the team overall and what they really, really need, bro. So for me and for Max saying that he does not want to be anywhere else, bro, let him be. Let him chill. Let him do his thing. Let him finish out his let him finish out his career with the Raiders. But you guys also got to remember, you guys want to trade him now. Say it doesn't fucking work out. I think he has one more year in this contract. Then get rid of him. So who cares? That's going to be more money that we'll have, even if we go and trade and like, oh, well, let's wait till next year or get, draft picks now. Like, bro, for what? Every year is going to be different. Last year, fucking the Patriots sucked fucking bad, like horrible. Look at last year. Seattle wasn't doing shit neither. They barely broke even. You know what I mean? So it's like you look at teams like the Bears. Once you get to the bottom of the barrel, depending on what they do during the offseason, changes everything. So with the whole shit about him being traded, everybody has their opinion, bro. This is just mine. But I think it'll be the object of stupidity to just get rid of one of your key players. Then you're gonna have no identity because if you want to turn around and say the offense is gonna be ran by Fernando Mendoza, I mean, great, bro. But he still needs veteran presence. There still needs to be some kind of mentorship, whether it's whatever side of the ball it's on. Not besides the coaching part, you need to look at it like players. You got to see who these guys can kind of lean on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Certain players come in, they might get a better relationship with one of their linemen as a defensive player. And then they go back and forth. They sharpen each other. They do certain things, right? So you look at stuff like that. You need veteran presence on this team because on one of the things I was going to try to bring up today, if I had time, man, half of our roster is fucking gone. Half of our roster is gone, and some people are going to be like, oh, well, that's more of a reason to go turn around and go get 14 draft picks in this year's draft. How many players played that were on the, from last year's draft? How many players played? What, 1, 2 out of how many? 9 picks, 12 picks, or 10 picks that we had last year? We're going to have another 10 picks, bro. And we're going to have so much openings, on so many different levels, that if you establish the defensive line and the offensive line, because we do have premier players, you got to understand. You take Maxx out of that, it's going to change everything. So there's a lot of free agents moving forward and stuff like that. So I really don't think we should trade him. But shout out John Leone. It says right here, it says, trade Maxx. He will not win us the Super Bowl. We need to build a young team and a culture. One player ain't gonna do that. Trade picks for him. So remember when Gruden did all that shit and we got rid of fucking Maxx, we got rid of Khalil Mack, and then he would like the first thing he says, "Oh, we need a defensive end pressure," and then we do that, and then guess what happened? We got Josh Jacobs out of it, Cleveland Farrell, and Jonathan Abrams. Where the motherfuckers at? Or what was the other one? The one that got caught up in robbing people and stuff like that. So the only one out of that the defense that we needed and the things that we needed, we got one player that's not even with us anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah. I was saying right here, but I still believe there is no chance that Maxx is going to get traded this offseason. Yeah, I agree with that. Maxx got what's up, Memo? Salute to you, brother. Maxx got $6 million extra if he decides to go. He's going to the Jets probably or Arizona. I'd be sure he ain't going nowhere because of that. Yeah, he's not going to go nowhere. That where's Kuntz? Yeah, for real, bro. You ain't lying. If we do that, we're looking at another 2 losing seasons. Yeah. Zamir, yeah, Zamir, where you at? Zamir, Pizza Hut rolling dough for people's Super Bowl party orders. Hey, he probably is, bro. But yeah, man, the whole Maxx Crosby thing, I mean, everyone can have their opinion, bro. I'm not saying that your opinion ain't right. It's all subjective. But for the team to actually have that veteran presence, bro, we need a player like Maxx Crosby. You know, we do. And like I said, one more year. What's the difference? What's the difference, bro? Because really, because it's like us as Raider fans, we fall in love with players, right? But when I hear that, every team falls in love with fucking players. I guarantee you that there's somebody on the Steelers that didn't want Pickens to go and was probably talking shit. See, you let Pickens go and look at what he did. Everybody fucking falls in love with players, bro. It's the name of the game. You love the fucking sport. This is what it is. So, you know, but yeah, so Jeff right here says he does not have no trade clause, so we can ship him anywhere we want. Yeah, because and see, that's another loyalty thing. Like, you know what I mean? Don't trade me. You know, you can trade me wherever. I want to stay here. So he's already said it. Now, if for some reason, Clint, and that's another thing too. We'll get into Clint Kubiak. If Clint comes in and he's saying that he's, you know, because it's not written in stone. I really don't want to be like doing hype videos, Clint, and he doesn't even fucking sign with us. Say he wins a Super Bowl, right? And they get that extra money, certain things are happening, and then McDonald turns around like, look, bro, we built something here, man, let's go. And then guess what? We're the only team without a quarterback. I mean, a coach. We're the only team right now officially that don't have a coach. It's speculation that we're going to have Clint Kubiak. Now, I'm not saying I don't want Clint. That's not what I'm saying. You know, they're even saying that he's going to bring in some of his quarterbacks coach to come be the OC. There's that possibility. But see, we still don't have any defensive coaches on the other side. We let go tons of coaches. We basically have nobody in the building right now. You know what I mean? I think the only one that's left is Deuce Gruden. You know, I'll look it up right now. But anyways, Raider Nation, losing Maxx Crosby loses the heart of our defense going forward. If you didn't see how our teams were built to win in the past, then they're not a part of to trade Maxx crowd. Hold on, let's see real quick. You're not paying attention to history, okay? It says it has to be this year. Anything past the season return for him will be less and less. Well, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter because if we have another shit season, Jeff, to be honest, let's be real about it. If we have another shit season, then guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a high draft pick. And we're going to have another high draft pick, and then maybe we can move on. You know what I mean? But I think he only has like 1 year left on his contract. So, yeah. So yeah, Tubby, he's coming to LV. I know that, but Tubby, listen, trust me. I know, I fucking know. I know that he's coming, but I'm kind of like, bro, I need to see the signature. I need to see the signature. I need to see that picture that he signed. Cool. Even the owner from, everyone's saying it. Everybody's saying it, bro. But you know how this shit is, especially with us, especially with the Raiders, bro. Especially with the Raiders, yeah. Jeff says right here, said we need to face it. Maxx is not the future of the team. We have to build for the future, and he's not a part of it 100%. He's got 2 years left on his contract, so let's get something for him while we can. So if we do, it'll probably be easier for us to get rid of him the next year if he's not falling into the system. Plus, say, I thought not Stefanski, Schwartz was going to come over, but apparently I think he's staying in with the Browns. And I know he has a thing with Schwartz and stuff like that, so I don't know. Deuce is bulletproof. Pena, what's up, bro? Salute to you, brother. All right. Dwayne Thomas says right here, we don't need Maxx Crosby. What DN makes the kind of difference for the rest of the defense ain't loaded. Cleveland got Myles Garrett, and they're still losers. The last DE to make a true difference is Mac. Yeah, okay. Jim Schwartz, there you go. Yeah, maybe we pick up Jim Schwartz. I think I'm not too sure. I thought I read something, but it was pretty quick. I thought they were trying to offer him more money and freaking at the Browns. So we'll see what happens with that. But season's not over. And to be honest with you, bro, there's so much going on. I'm kind of only focusing on what the news is as far as the Raiders concerned. I haven't really looked completely around, but I know that the Raiders are looking at Kubiak, and there is nothing in writing until I see the paper in writing. I don't want to do that. We're gonna have to have 3 first-round quarterbacks in 2030. Fuck, for real, huh? Lo, I agree 100% on the head coach. I'm not celebrating Kubiak till he signs. Yeah, for real. Until he's at the presser. Resign doesn't want to coach in 2026. Besides Cleveland, still has his contract. Not Stefanski. I know. I didn't mean Stefanski, Jeff. I meant Schwartz. That's what I meant. All right, shiz. Why do we need a face? We need to face that, Jeff. It is a desperate attempt to fill roster spots with one draft. This draft class is not strong enough to fill the positions. I think stupid shit. I would turn around. I would get fucking if I was anybody, if I was the Raiders and I was up there and I could do this, this is exactly what I do. If we're gonna take this fucking move and try to get the last few drops of fucking Maxx Crosby out of it and try to get something moving, I would turn around, get Mendoza #1, trade back into the first round as high as we fucking can, try to go get that defensive end. If they really want to do something to impress me this year and they want to make a statement, I would say fuck, even though we don't got it, I would say trade back up into it, give next year's first round, whatever, if we got it. I mean, I'm pretty sure every team does, but I would give next year's first round, move up, get a couple more players, get rid of some of these back end players. You know what I mean? It's very rare that you're going to find like a very good talent in around 6 or 7. You know what I mean? It's very rare. It's more or less than none. I would trade back up, maybe into the second round to do that, to really, really build this team if you want to move younger, because we got no linebackers. To be honest, we don't. Because most of our linebackers were on 1-year deals. I would do something like that. To make a fucking statement, to be like, hey, we're going to do this. But see, that only does certain things. If you trade back up into it, you kind of don't have no future. So you got to see some prospects that are actually going to be game changers. You know what I mean? We do need a linebacking core. I mean, I don't think we can get so high to where we can get that kid from, Miami that popped, Mendoza in the game and stuff. But, it is what it is. But like, that's something I would do. That is something I would do. But it's going to be hard. I meant Schwartz. Also, my bad. Yeah, no trip. Anyone else conceiving a baby today? No, I don't know about that. We ain't trained till the 3rd round. Yeah. To be better than watching the game. Archie said he wants to be a Raider. Man, get out of here, Tubby. You're crazy with that shit. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, the whole thing with the Max thing, that was crazy. But with Kubiak, man, listen, my piece with Kubiak is pretty simple. Kubiak, to me, if you look at his dad, everybody that he has, been around, the systems that he's been around, and everybody that talks about him, the way he holds himself accountable and the way he, approaches the game. Look at some of the breakdowns. Look at what he does, how he adjusts. He doesn't go in with just a script. He's one of those he's one of those coaches that, like, we have a plan, but depending on what's going on, we got 4 different options. We got 5 different options. And everybody in their right mind that sees exactly what he's done and the list of accolades that he has, and everywhere that he's went, he's had players and quarterbacks, especially on the offensive side of the ball, develop great, have good years. Even though I don't want to say it, and I'm going to piss some people off, but you got to remember, we still got Geno Smith. Geno Smith's best year was with Clint. I hope that doesn't happen. I'm just saying. I hope it doesn't happen, but there's a possibility, because even with the Mendoza coming in, we still need some veteran presence there. I was talking to Gravy, and I turned around and I heard somebody say that if we pick up Mendoza, certain people said maybe we shouldn't start him. We should sit him. And that person was me. But what Gravy basically told me is, like, on some real shit. He was, if you do something like that, it shows that this isn't the guy that you wanted. It shows that this isn't the guy that you wanted. And for me, I understand exactly that, right? But if you bring Clint in and you see some stuff, and then you have Mendoza sit behind somebody for a couple games or whatever, whatnot, and learn the system right, that's like, because I don't know if Aiden O'Connell's on the. I don't have a contract neither. The incomparable Aiden O'Connell. If you look up his stats, he's probably has better stats than what was the funniest one I seen? Not Watson. What's the kid out of Texas? I can't think of his name. Stroud. He has apparently better numbers than Stroud. Okay, so, like, no, but if you need some kind of veteran quarterback presence. But for me, it's like you want him to develop into the player that he needs to be. What's up with this fucking mouse, dude? Hold on, real quick. There it is. Tripping, my bad. Yeah, but no, I was saying, like, if you bring in Mendoza and stuff like that, Nation, you guys got to understand, the first year is not going to be great. Now, does he shock everybody? Yeah, but if you're gonna have somebody grow, you see players like Rodgers, right? That's a legend. You know what I mean? You see Brady, legend. They had somebody and a system already in place to where they were succeeding in front of them. You know what I mean? So there was Favre in front of Rodgers, and also Bledsoe in front of Tom. So you see that, right? And you see that kind of development, and this is like a lot of quarterbacks need that. You know what I mean? So even though you need that, but that was then. This is now. They got it when they're coming in out of college. They should be pro ready. And Mendoza was basically stating that some of the stuff that they did, it's very, very similar to what Clint has done. So maybe these college players coming in, because you want them right now. Now they're not going to know how to win exactly right away. You look at a player like Joe Burrow that was highly touted and stuff like that. He made some good plays, didn't start really getting the ball rolling, you know what I mean? But then until his second year. So every player coming in has that second year. You see, like me speaking about Stroud had that first year. He was doing this thing. Second year kind of had slumps. And then I think this was his third year, or I think this was his second year. I can't remember. I apologize. But then he got this team to the playoffs. You see what I mean? So it's like there's going to be those up and downs, pulling and stuff like that. But I think Mendoza, because like he stated, he's not the strongest, the fastest, or anything like that. he can actually win in this. But I still think that there should be a veteran presence on the side, you know what I mean, of Mendoza, no matter what. Gino's getting let go, yeah. Hey, Penny, man, I don't know. A lot of people ain't gonna like that one. Jeff saying Gino will start. Hell no to Gino. Gino's yeah, I know, Alex. I know. Let me get to some of these real quick. Devin Lloyd from the Jags, linebackers, free agent. There's lineman for Philly, free agent. Signed them to trade Crosby for multiple picks. See, AOC 12 has one more year on his rookie contract. There you go. So then, yeah, he beat the Chiefs twice. Mendoza is going to be a killer dude. Yeah, no, I do agree. In my opinion, if he is healthy, why not bring in Carr to coach up the rookie? It would help and close the chapter in a positive with Carr and the Raiders as a backup. As a Derek Carr fan and as a Fresno State Bulldogs fan and me watching them and stuff like that, I would love to see the sunset, you know, on Derek Carr's back, stuff like that. But I don't see him coming back. I don't see him coming back to the NFL at all. You know what I mean? I know that they do a lot of joking on their podcast, and I watch their podcast. No bullshit. The other day, a couple weeks back, I took my truck to go get. It was like a recall and stuff like that. So I took my truck to the shop, and you know, to the dealership, whatever, whatnot. And as I was walking out, I seen David Carr, and I have all my Raider stuff on. He kind of gave me a deuces, but like, you know, I've never been one of the guys to be like, oh, let me go touch your hand. Like, I've never been that guy. But they're here in Fresno. They're here in this area and stuff like that, or Clovis, whatever, whatnot. So it's like, man, they're doing their thing. They're enjoying their lives. But to him to come back out, it would be maybe like a good, like he might have a conversation because he's had history with Clint Kubiak, and you know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't see him actually coming in and doing all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I said it. Come at me, Carr, as a backup veteran. It would be hard. Readiness, nah, we ain't coming at you, brother. It would be hard to see Derek Carr on the sideline, but I think it'll be harder for Derek Carr to be on the sideline knowing that he can go out there and throw with them. You know what I mean? So, Lecky, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. He might be coming back being 100% real. Hey, if he does, bro, I'm not going to be mad. Neither do I. Just a nice idea. Oh, yeah, of course. Stop the car. DC4 might be helping Mendoza. Hey, you never know. You never know, brother. Memo. Hope we do have an awesome O-line to protect quarterbacks like Ketchy Osemele opening holes. Bro, yeah, remember that offensive line, bro? That shit was crazy. That was a dope-ass line. I heard the podcast where David Carr said if they trade the first pick and invest in the O-line, David said he would come back. Yeah, I seen that shit too, brother. Lando, what's up, bro? Salute to you, man. Miklo, what up? Salute, brother. Hopefully you're having a good one. The cars need to open up some brothels out here. You stupid. They have some churches out here, bro. I heard it's kind of close to the same thing. Ouch. Anyways. Yeah, man. Man, kind of went on for a little bit of time here. I know that there's going to be a lot more stuff after the Super Bowl, man. But, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting moving forward, man. All signs are like on the up and up. You know what I mean? So the whole Crosby thing, I'm glad that, you know, it's not. I'm glad it's not going to happen because I just, as a fan, as a Raider fan, he does bring something to it. But if we can bring somebody else in to help him out on that defensive line, remember we got a lot of money on the books this year moving forward. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's what I was going to go to next before we got out of here, bro. Miklo's asking what's the Super Bowl prediction, but yeah, we'll talk. Well, I want to talk a little bit of Super Bowl real quick, and then we'll get out of here, and then you know we'll move forward. That's all I was going to ask, man. Jay Glazer is a tool. Yeah, fuck that guy. No, man, but we'll talk a little bit more after the Super Bowl, and I'll have a couple more. I'll have a little bit more to speak about and start looking more in depth into coaches once we actually sign Kubiak. Yeah, so no way you can hope for the Pats. Yeah. All right. As a Raider fan, and shout out Miklo for this, bro, and everybody in the chat, bro. Go to say who you're going for. Throw the score up. I'll read it out real quick. So, as a Raider fan and hating Josh McDaniels with everything, and pissed off that they took Spillane, they took Chase Young. Well, I didn't know Chase Young was gonna have a great game, whatever. But I mean, I didn't think he was gonna come back. But he was the number 1 draft pick. But who you guys going for? Tell me exactly who do you guys want to win the Super Bowl. Me personally, West Coast. I go to Seattle, Olympia, go visit my boy. That's one of my friends. I lived out there. Now I'm not gonna go put no birds on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep my Raider shit all day, no matter what. But yeah. So what do you think? What do you guys think? I'm seeing right here. All right. Lecky says, I've been pushing the narrative every season. Oh yeah, Lecky, I was talking about that earlier. No way I'm going for the Pats. There you go. Alex said Seahawks. Raider Nation says Seahawks. If the refs stay out of it, yep. Seahawks 34, Patriots 27. So the Seahawks. Stupid. I want Kubiak to leave with a trophy. Yeah. I believe he does that. Let's hope Spillane doesn't stop. Yeah. I'm going Seahawks, bro. I'm going Seahawks, and I'm good with that. I'm cool with I don't want the Seahawks will be better than anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not gonna do a score prediction, but I wonder how many people are gonna be pissed off, or I wonder how many people are gonna watch the halftime shit. Hey, remember, I was just about to say that shit. Drama at the halftime, probably. Hey, I'm very light on speaking Spanish and stuff like that, but I heard somebody. I listened to the translated lyrics, but Bad Bunny's not that bad. He's talking about his tia's asking him, why does he have so many girlfriends? Like, all right, but some people think boyfriends or whatever. But regardless, whatever, it doesn't matter. As somebody that loves music, music is music, bro. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they fucking at gospel music, bro. Like, music is music, bro. It's just music, man. All it is just sounds and rhythm and just having a good time. I ain't watching Bad Bunny. Raider Fool Chris. I don't know, guys, the owner of the Pats, but he had a picture with Netanyahu. Oh shit. Yeah, Bad Bunny shaking my head. That's funny. Hold on. I heard a comedian said, hey, Bad Bunny should do this, come out with Bruce Springsteen and sing the song Born in the USA. I was like, I'm dead. All right, let me get this going. Where's my fucking mouse at? God damn it. All right, there we go. All right, man. Well, we'll see what Bad Bunny and Lil Nas X. Oh shit. Let's see how Lowe's dressed then. All right, man. Well, look, it was a great Sunday, man. Super Bowl Sunday, man. Go Seahawks, I guess. I'm sorry, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. It should be go Raiders no matter what. Yeah, man. But you guys be safe. I'll be live next week. You know what I mean? We'll get into it. And yeah, man. Like we always tell you guys around this party, be thankful for what you do got, what you don't. Don't drink and drive. It's Super Bowl Sunday. The boys will be out. So if you're at home having your drinks, I'm not telling you don't drink. I'm just telling you don't drink and drive, man. Call a fucking Uber. Get your Theo that's sober now, or your Thea, or shit. I don't even care if they're drinking. Just you don't drink and drive. But yeah, man. So make sure you guys make it home safe, man. I hope you guys get all kinds of food, get some good rest, and enjoy. I hope it's a good Super Bowl, bro. No matter what, whatever your opinions are, whatever, whatnot. But I hope it's a good Super Bowl. And yeah, man, we'll be live next week, or I'll be live next week, and we'll keep it going, man. Appreciate all you guys, man. And like we always finish the show on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raiders! All right, man. You guys be safe. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Peace.